Hello guys and gals, my name is Kits and welcome back to another new video. In today's video we will be talking about Pixar's animated series Cars-Toon and if it's canon to the trilogy or to the Cars franchise. But before I do, as always, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down any questions you have on any Pixar film, which doesn't have to be Cars related, and I will make sure to answer it as soon as possible. Also make sure to join my Pixar Cars Discord server where we could talk about all things Pixar and Cars related. And with that out of the way, let's get started with the video. So Cars-Toon, what is it? Well, Cars-Toon is an animated short that deals with Mater telling his best friend, Lightning McQueen, tales that he claims to be true. Throughout many of the episodes of the show, at one point in time, Mater somehow always manages to involve Lightning McQueen into the so-called tale which he claims are true. Usually, Lightning McQueen doesn't believe him, as he himself would most likely know if he was involved in Mater's story or not. But as the episode finishes, Lightning usually tells Mater that the story did not happen, but is then greeted with characters from his tale, or shows an action that goes with the story he said, such as the ending in Unidentified Flying Mater, where he shows McQueen that he does, in fact, have the ability to fly. If only Lightning actually stayed for a while and didn't leave. But although it's really far-fetched, we do have the legendary Cars 2, which is indeed canon to the trilogy, but is not referenced in Cars 3, so I'm not sure how those events played out, but do let me know if you want a video on that. But is Cars-Toon canon? Well, to figure this out, I decided to watch as many episodes as I can to figure out if there is some correlation between the show and movies. Also, keep in mind that I will most likely not be mentioning anything from Radiator Springs Tales because that would make this video too long, and I believe that a few of those are canon due to the realism of the stories and events, and I will not be using all 11 episodes from Mater's Tall Tales to find out if the tales are canon. I really only used what I needed, and yeah. So let's start off with the very first thing that Mater says in every episode, or well, mostly all of them, which is, "If I'm lying, I'm crying." To use this to find out whether the tale is canon or not, I decided to see if Mater cries in any of the episodes, and to keep this short, he doesn't. From the 6 episodes I was able to watch, he did not cry in any of the episodes. So if we do in fact consider what Mater said, then the stories are canon. But I simply don't believe it, so I decided to pay attention to detail, and here's what I was able to come up with. In a few number of episodes, there are a lot of things that don't add up or show any dates on when they occur, such as the Detective Mater episode, which seems to occur in the 1920s. Also, side note, I won't be using the Pixar theories timeline to distinguish any possible dates because we simply don't know if it's real or not. But if we use Doc's racing event, which are indeed canon, if we take a look at the date, the time period where Doc crashed and raced was during or close to the year of 1951, which means that if the story was canon, Mater would be older than Doc, which we all know isn't the case. So using this, we can pretty much assume that most of these episodes aren't canon, so let's continue. Another thing I was able to find that was off was Mater's eye color in Rescue Squad Mater, which are the color blue opposed to his greenish hazel color that we've all come to love. Since his eye color is different, I think it's safe to assume that this episode is not canon. Now there is a possibility of him using lenses that change his eye color, but I don't think that's the case, since Mater doesn't use any other lenses or glasses in any other film, which would support the idea of him only having, well, the greenish hazel color. So we can safely cross out Rescue Squad Mater and move to the next episode. But guys, I really wasn't able to find anything that's too off except the whole thing, but I'm pretty sure we can all agree that this episode was just not canon. So for a few more episodes, I managed to find details that just didn't add up with the facts that we already know from previous films, such as Mater's hood and his right light bulb. You see, in Cars 1, we know for a fact that before the interstate was built, Mater had his hood and right light bulb. We also know that Mater lost his hood somewhere in the time that the interstate was built and had both light bulbs until something occurred to make it fall off or be removed. But the main thing that makes the connections fall apart is when Lightning first met Mater. This is because when they both meet in the impound, Mater was missing both his hood and right light bulb. And in the episodes, Monster Truck Mater, Mater the Greater, Moon Mater, Mater Door, and Heavy Metal Mater, they all had both light bulbs and in some, his hood. So if the events were canon, Lightning would have known Mater in the past because this is when the stories, quote unquote, happen. But I think we can all agree that it wouldn't make sense to have them know each other in the past and then later make them forget each other in the event of the first movie, which leaves us with one more episode that I viewed, Unidentified Flying Mater. Okay, I don't feel like explaining why this one isn't canon, and I think we can all agree that this one isn't canon at all, so I'm not even going to waste more time on that one. And yeah, that's basically my thoughts on the story. I just don't think Mater's 12 Tales are canon. But let me know if you think otherwise, and as always, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and join my Cars Discord server. Link will be down in the description.